It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we'll see Kirk Cousins. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Vikings and the Packers on Sunday night.
Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium.
Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
So here are the new-look Packers set to go to work. And at the helm here in 2023, a lot of eyes on this man in his 4th NFL season, Jordan Love.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB, but finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
They'll start this drive out on the ground, and this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago: 13 carries, 116 yards, and a trip to the end zone.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
On second down now, Goodson They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
The Packers at 12-3 now on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On first down, Goodson.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Well, these two teams, they met in Lambeau earlier in the season with the Packers winning that ball game. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they'd get a sweep of the season series. From the 43, here's second down and 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Goodson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. And remember, the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Here's Love. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. 3rd and 7 now.
This defense for the Vikings, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right. They want to run their offense through him.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2 yards left on second down from the 9.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. Touchdown, Packers! Marquise Goodwin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Packers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember
yeah.
what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So here are the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down.
You look at this Packers defense.
They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On third down, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And that CD, another sack for the young rookie linebacker. Well, getting after the quarterback certainly has not been much of a problem here in his rookie season.
It certainly hasn't, Brandon, and the instincts that have made him a great tackler, I think coupled along with some film study and some great anticipation, that's also made him a great pass rusher as well.
So on fourth down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Now Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Swings this out for Hunt.
And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Love with a give to Dillon.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. As that throw arrived, tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Marquise Goodwin. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Packers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And so they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. That one is caught by Hunt. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
There you go, partner. That's some old-school football right there. You need 1 yard? Give it to your bruiser fullback and let him get the job done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Devondre Campbell, nice play to get in there and drop him. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28.
A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Love, they go play action now.
Now swing pass for Dillon.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Love now to pass on 1st down. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Touchdown!
A.J. Dillon
From 8 yards out.
And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
First down, here's Cousins.
Into the hands of the rookie Jordan Addison.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Cousins.
Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Throwing is Cousins.
Throw left side, and Osborne has it.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Cousins now on second down. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Cousins now. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least they have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we head at AT&T Stadium, and they were winners in that game over the visiting Detroit Lions. Dak Prescott, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. He's going to have the first down and more than that.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson.
65 yards.
yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it makes the score 21-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted.
Picked up by Harrison Smith, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series.
And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season, so now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit.
He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that'll make this an 8-point game.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Love rolling to his right.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, Love.
He finds Watson complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Now Dillon on the inside give.
And he stopped immediately there.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Down inside the 10. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Dillon will score. Touchdown, Packers. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this one is incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Bring up 48.
On second down, Cousins again. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll throw again. Cousins. No, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 73 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. They run again with Dillon. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Okay, ready?
So from the 37, here's second down at a yard.
Ready?
They run once more with Dillon.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
10.
Up the middle they run. Here's Dillon.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Second down, Love.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down.
Here's Love.
Keeps himself upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the... Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try.
This to make it a 3-score game late.
Maher able to put this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
And out now come the Vikings.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Osborne. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Cousins on 1st down.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
2nd down, Cousins.
Over the middle and complete to Addison.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Osborne.
And the Vikings are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. T.J. Hockenson from 6 yards away.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this belongs to the Vikings. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here then.
All 3 timeouts still remain. Keep that in mind. They prefer to use them on the defensive end. But here's 1st and 10.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Here's 1st and goal.
Here's Cousins. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Cousins to throw it. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory.
This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Here's a big one. It's 4th and goal.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Packers D comes up with a big stop.
Let's go now.
They've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he has a Packer 1st down, and that should be the one that finishes the script.
Holding. Offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And they'll get him down here at the 23.
So a win here for the Packers, and it was thanks in part to their man under center, their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he really had a great night throwing the football. 3 touchdown passes. He was totally locked in. He was precise and really willed his guys to the victory.
So for the Packers,
they continue to show they're playoff ready as they move to 13-3 with 1 game remaining.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaunt. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.
It's Week 18 of the 2024 season, and we'll see DJ Moore, who's closing in on 1,000 yards receiving on the year. It's the Bears and the Packers, next on EA Sports.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, it's January 7th, but we haven't seen you since New Year's Eve, so we have to say Happy New Year, one and all. And partner, Happy New Year to you. This is it, the conclusion of the 2023 season. Hard to believe, but we got a good one here between division rivals. And you like what the NFL's done here, making Week 18 all division games.
I think it's one of the more inspired moves by the league because they've made these matchups really count. And typically they mean something, not a lot of coasting as people head towards the playoffs. But I do have to ask, January 7th, is it too late to say it? We're kind of right on the board.
And nothing but daylight ahead. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means because I think for a team to just score, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive.
And they'll be piloted by their veteran quarterback standing 6'4". It's Ryan Tannehill.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Tannehill's throw there, hauled in by Claypool.
16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Now Tannehill.
And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. And we'll step aside and be right back.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Tannehill.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
12 more yards there and another first down.
The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
This defense for the Packers, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
A 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal.
Shows up how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So on 4th down, on comes Ronnie Gold in the field goal unit for the Bears. This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt. The kick by Gold is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield.
And he's loose again. He's past the 30. He might score. He will score. Touchdown.
Again, on the front, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Marr on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, these two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So a victory here in Lambeau would give them a sweep of the season series. Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw there complete to Allen.
A 5-yard pass on 1st down and another 5-yard connection there. They'll try the middle with Cook.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
16 yards is the pickup there on a first down for Chicago.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Tannehill now on the option left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't hurt too well.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
Cook now off the read option. Taken down at the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's Tannehill. Underneath, caught by the tight end, Allen. Short completion, just 4 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Tannehill on 3rd down. And he wisely will throw that one away. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The kick by goal is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he's probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
That's caught by Chosen. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him the first down.
And even though this is a top 5 rushing offense, and we see this especially early in the game, they're going to do their best to keep you honest. They don't want you getting the habit of stacking the box, so that's a good throw there. And they're able to come up with the first down.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Again, it's Dillon. A strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Running up the middle, here's Dillon.
And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go draw play. It's Dillon. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. To throw now, here's Love. This is caught. It's a Packers touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Marr now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Now, looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like blocking for a 3,000-yard or 4,000-yard passer. So it's a lot of pride on the line, and his pride is paramount because he wants to be able to join that pantheon of guys that in the NFL ran for 1,000 yards or more in a season.
Pride on the line. I see what you did there.
You like that?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Tannehill. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Tannehill now to throw. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Love now. They go screen with Dillon. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. That one a first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Love now on 2nd down. They'll set up a screen for Dillon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And this is caught on the sideline, and he gets out of bounds as well. How about that? Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They will throw again here with Jordan Love.
Now swing pass for Dillon.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And between the last two plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
The kick by Marr is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. Jalen Reagor, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see they lead the visiting Houston Texans at halftime. Michael Pittman, well over 100 yards with 2 touchdown catches to boot. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting Buccaneers as that game has gone to halftime. Miles Sanders, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. These two teams going through their final adjustments. It's about time for the second half in Green Bay. So for the call, we go back up to Lambeau and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half.
And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They run it again with Cook. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Dillon up the middle.
And he'll get this up to about the 40.
46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Give him 6 yards in the first down.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to run.
Hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. Who finds his receiver, Watson. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, first down.
To the right side, this is Dillon.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll roll him out right. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown.
Christian Watson
from 6 yards away.
And the Packers are able to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Tannehill's throw complete here to Kmet.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Tannehill.
Open man is Duvernay.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On first down, it's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. And the pressure gets to him again.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, here's Tannehill.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
They snap it to Tannehill.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 4.
On the handoff, this is Dillon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
From the gun, it's Dillon.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately.
Holding. Offense.
And they get the guard, John Runyon.
Still 2nd down.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
They give to Dillon out of the gun.
And a solid run down inside the 30.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Dillon.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Marr on down for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was A.J. Dillon who capped it off with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
This fielded right at the goal line. The Chicago offense set to get started. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Up front 7.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Fielded at the 33.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter, and that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. 126 yards rushing for him now to this point. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Love with a give to Dillon.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here's the big man Dillon with it. Trucks over him.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Now Dillon on the inside give.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
On 2nd down, Dillon.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Green Bay,
they finish things off in style, putting a bow on a 14-3 regular season.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Chicago,
it could be a potentially devastating loss as they finish with a mark of 9-8.
But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.